Mia Palmer. She is my mother, and I am her firstborn, and I am so grateful to her. I have some of the best memories, and I know she is always so hard on herself. She's her biggest critic, and I genuinely, sometimes it breaks my heart to think how she believes that she didn't do an amazing job because she couldn't be further from the truth. She has 5 beautiful children and 3 beautiful in-laws, and we are all very grateful for her, especially me. I know I was the first child, so I got what Mason's getting, and I can see now and I can empathize more with learning how to be a parent, and even so, I have only fond memories of my childhood.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary.
She taught me so many things, and I remember her in a little bit of a different way than the rest of the rest of the kids, because I remember when she was working while Dad was in dental school.
So everyone, how you can patty cake, a big good man. Come on, spread this hand out. Patty cake, come on, Matthew. Patty cake, a big good man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. There you go.
I remember how we can all see how hard of a worker she is. She still works very hard with her job and everything, but I was there first, and she loves me the most, which is true. One quick story is, at least I struggled a little bit with depression and in high school. Normal things, I think, not any more than normal, but I had an attitude like most teenagers, and one thing she said to me that I always remember and I'll always remember is, and it was so simple, and I probably acted like it was dumb when she said it, but I thought about it a lot, and I still think about it a lot, and I actually caught myself saying it to Mason the other day. She said to me one day, when I was getting ready for school, it was always a fight. Get up, get ready, don't be late. And she said, you choose every day when you wake up whether you're going to be happy or not. You make a choice, and whatever you choose is going to determine the rest of your day. You can be happy. You have to choose to be happy, or you can choose to be sad. And I started to, even though I probably brushed it off and acted like I didn't hear her, I remember specifically thinking about that day and a few other days, thinking, I'm gonna try to be happy today. And even today, now, I wake up sometimes and I think, I'm gonna choose right now how this day, or at least try to influence the day in my favor and try and be happy. That's one thing I'll always remember from my mom, is her helping me choose how to be, helping me know that I can choose to be happy, and teaching me, even back then, before she was a psychologist, she was teaching me about my own psyche and everything that I needed to work on, and not need to work on, but she was helping me with that. Mommy, I love you so much. You are fantastic. You have done such an amazing job. You're not the typical, mom, and I'm grateful for that. I had an amazing childhood. You're so funny. My friends always loved you growing up. Everyone that meets you is like, I love your mom, and I am grateful for the part of me that comes from you, and I love you so much, and happy birthday.
So, when I first met Matt, it was a couple weeks after I met him. actually I think it was only about a week, he texted me and said, I think it's time that you need to meet Mia. And I said, who's Mia? Okay, like, is this some ex-girlfriend? Is this some friend? Like, what is he talking about? And he's like, no, it's my mom. And I just thought it was funny because, you know, Matt, he gives you a hard time sometimes, Mom. And I just think it's funny that the first person he thought he wanted to introduce this girl that he really cared about, that, you know, he had strong feelings for right away, it was his mom. And so I remember going over for dinner and thinking, wow, beautiful home. I remember seeing the placemats that had the maps on it and thinking, okay, this mom's got it together. She knows, you know, she likes to teach while they're having dinner, and I just liked the feeling in your home. And then I remember seeing Mom and thinking she's really pretty and super warm and kind, but also really funny, like cool. And I thought that was different because you weren't just some old lady. You were actually like I could relate to and we could talk. But I just think of our conversations in the car, talking about parenting and life and the gospel and all these things. You always have such good things to say. When I think about our pedicure dates, I think about our boutique dates. And I think about all the times that you've been so supportive for me and Matt. And there have been quite a few times where I've felt down on myself, and you, or Mom just sees right through it and knows what I'm feeling. And she always has given me good advice. I remember her one time saying, you can't compare yourself. It's not fair to you because you just don't even know how amazing you are. And she said that stuff to me all the time, but I'm just grateful for those experiences that I have with her. And also, just to wrap it up, there were a few times when Matt and I really were struggling, and it was always her first thought to help in any way that she could. She brought us dinner. She would take the kids, and she'd always slip us a couple $100 here and there and say, "Don't tell Dad that I'm giving you this," because
she still does that every time I see her.
But we just appreciate her so much and everything that she's done for us, and her love and support for us always. Mom, I just want to say, being your first outside member of the family that joined the family, you have made me feel so warm and welcome, and just loved me from the beginning, and I just have so much fun with you. I'm so grateful that we have such a good relationship as daughter-in-law and mother-in-law, because I know a lot of people don't have that. And just thank you for being funny and supportive and warm and loving and caring about us and our family. And happy birthday. I love you.
So I have a couple memories of Mom that I want to share. When I was growing up, maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, she had I could tell that she had a passion for music, and especially for the piano, and she still does, but that passion was translated into her kids. We all love music. Specifically me with the piano, I remember her spending a lot of time with me in our house on Silver Creek, spending hours with me, sitting down at that upright piano that we had, going over songs. I remember specifically we would play Für Elise and Canon in D out of the Easy booklet. And to this day I remember how much time she would sit there patiently waiting for me after making mistake after mistake after mistake. I could feel her patience and her love, and it made me want to play the piano, because I knew that when I sat down to play, if Mom was in the house somewhere, she heard me start to play, within about 5 minutes she'd be down close by me, sitting down helping me. And it's something that has always stuck with me, and she's been that way with anything we do in life. She's patient and she's willing to help us, and it's just an amazing attribute that she has. One other story and memory I have of Mom growing up is something she would always ask us, and it was, do you know how much I love you? Or who loves you? And we would always respond with, Dad loves me, and Grandpa and Grandma and Matt and Lauren, and we would say everyone but her, and she would say, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Until we finally said, Mom loves me, and she says, yes, I love you very much. And she was constantly reminding us about how much she loved us.
Today's October 8th, Monday, October 8th, 1990. He's a little over 2 weeks. If this isn't the cuddliest baby that was ever born, there never was a cuddly baby born. He loves it.
Now that I've tried to talk to you and make you understand, all you have to do is close your eyes and just reach out your hand and touch me.
And I'm just so grateful for my mommy. And we just want you to know, Mom, how much we love you, and we know how much you've sacrificed for us, and we're just so grateful for you. And my son's crying in the car, but I'm so grateful for them to have a grandma like you, and I'm so grateful that we have such a fun mom and someone who cares for us and has been patient with us and supports us with our sporting activities and with our music activities and with our friends and our outings and our scouts and church, and the times that we were obedient and disobedient, she was patient and stuck with us. And Mom, I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you, and we just want you to know how special you are to me. And happy birthday. I hope you have a good day, and I love you.
One of the first times I ever spoke with Mom, I can't even remember what it was about, but I specifically remember this story, that I was going to her for some advice and just talking to her about something, and I thought it would be like a quick couple-minute conversation, but we ended up talking for like an hour and a half just about the things I was going through, and she shared some things she was going through. And I remember leaving that conversation and just being so grateful that I had somebody to talk to about anything. I felt so comfortable. I felt like I could, I didn't feel judged at all. And I remember afterwards, I think I told my sister, but I remember telling her, like, I just felt so at home with Mom, and it was so nice to just be able to talk to her. And I also really loved the fact that Mom felt like she could talk to me as well. And from that point on, that was 5 years ago when we got married, I feel like we have such great conversations, and we talk to each other about everything. And I'm so grateful to have that in a mother-in-law. It's pretty awesome. I don't feel like a lot of people can say that about their mother-in-laws. Mom, I just wanted to let you know that I love you so much, and I am so grateful to have you in my life. You are such an amazing person, and truly, you are somebody that I look up to. Your personality, just the way you are. I really look up to you, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to you as a grandma. I'm grateful for you as a mom to my husband and how you raised him, so that he could be such an amazing husband to me, an amazing person. And I love you so much. I'm grateful for our friendship, and I hope you have a happy, happy birthday. And I hope you feel how much we all truly love and care for you.
So I have obviously a lot of fun and sweet memories of my mother. There's one that's kind of funny, and it goes to show how great of a person she is to talk to. Well, so when we lived in the sandstone house, Brady Christ and Gavin Christ would often come over to our house, just walk home from school, and then that's where they would get picked up by Dwayne and Pam to get a ride home to their house. And I would usually get in the car with them to go hang out with Brady at his house. And almost without fail, Sister Chris would park her Suburban in front of our house, and sometimes Dwayne was with her, and she would go inside and she would start talking to my mom. And me and Brady and Gavin would just be sitting in the car waiting and waiting. And when Dwayne, it was funny, I remember specifically when Dwayne was with us one time, he was waiting in the car with us while Mom and Pam were talking, and he would kind of honk the horn a little bit, and Sister Chris would pop her head out and give him the look, and he'd be like, I don't want to disturb that again. And so he'd get Gavin to yell. He would say, Gavin, yell at Mom and say that we want to go. And Gavin's probably like 7 or 8, and he would try to yell, and they would just talk and talk. They were, best friends. They loved talking to each other. But that is one of the great traits of my mom, is that she can make meaningful conversation with anybody. And when she has a conversation, she often skips the fluffy stuff. How's the weather? How you doing? She'll talk to somebody, and I feel like I'm a pretty good listener. And so when we would go on lunch dates, or she'd be in the car or whatever, she'd be able to talk and I'd be able to listen. And obviously I would talk too. It'd be a conversation, but it just worked out nicely for us to have so many meaningful conversations and able to connect in that way, connect heart to heart. She's so good at that. One of the sweetest memories I have of my mom comes right before I left on my mission. It was right after I had gotten endowed I went to the temple for the first time, and before I left. So I hadn't gone to the temple more than about 3 times. And I went to the temple with her. It probably was my 2nd or 3rd time ever going to the temple. So I was, you're still a little nervous, you're not exactly sure what to do. But I went with her, and it was a couple days before I left on my mission. And so my emotions were just crazy. I was feeling excited, I was feeling nervous, I was feeling anxious about my mission and sad about leaving home, all those emotions that you feel. And my mom took the time to go to the temple with me, and I remember I was sitting kind of towards the back of the session, she was sitting towards the front, and I was just feeling all these scary emotions, nerves mostly. And during the session, I just had a rush of the Spirit come over me, just letting me know that everything was going to be okay, that it was going to be good, and that there's a lot of people praying for me. And so when we walked to the veil room, she waited for me to catch up to her, because you have to walk to the veil room in the Mesa Temple, and we just kind of cried together. I remember her specifically tearing up just by seeing me tear up, because she knew what I was feeling, and I'm sure she was feeling kind of sad to have another son leave on a mission for 2 years, but we just kind of cried together and walked together to the veil room, and it was one of the sweetest experiences I ever had with my mom. And I don't even know if she remembers that, but I'm never gonna forget that. It's one of those memories that's gonna go with me to my grave.
To start this life, and then you gave me wings I learned to dream because you believed in me. There's no power like it on this earth, no treasure equal to its worth. The gift of a mother's love.
Mom, I want to directly talk to you and tell you how much I love you and how much you mean to me and how much you mean to our family and how much we all love you. I know that sometimes, normally, just it isn't abnormal, but sometimes you feel like you've failed in different aspects, and I think we all feel like that a lot of the time. But I know that the scriptures say that one of the ways we can tell if we're successful is by the fruit of our labor. And your kids are quite literally the fruit of your labor, literally and metaphorically. And we love you so much, and we feel like we have the tools necessary to be successful members of the church and successful people in society because of you and because of Dad. And I think that goes to show how great of a mother you were and how great of a mother you are and how much we love you. And I hope you have such a good birthday. I love you so much, and I love the talks that we have, and I hope to have many, many more before we are far apart from each other. So thank you, Mom. Happy birthday. I love you.
So when I first knew that I was going to marry Kyle, I honestly got really excited because I knew that I was going to have Mia as my mother-in-law. And that kind of got rid of some fears, how there's this common thing of having drama with mother-in-laws. I knew that wasn't going to happen because I was going to have an awesome and cool mother-in-law. So I was really excited about that. One of my fondest memories with Mom was when we were living at their house. We had a lot of opportunities to talk and to, I feel like, get to know each other better. Since Kyle and I had only been married for 6 months and we lived in a different state that whole time, I felt like I hadn't had that opportunity, so it was really good to be able to build that relationship more. And I remember a few times we would just sit and talk for hours or go shopping, or there was this one time when we went on a walk around the neighborhood and I just felt like I could tell her my fears and my ambitions and things that I wouldn't normally tell a lot of other people except those that are closest to me. And so I was really, really grateful to have her, especially when we were living in a place where I didn't know anybody but the Palmer family, and so I felt like I had a friend to rely on and to kind of be there for me while I was living in a different state than I was used to. Mom, you are incredible, and you are an inspiration, and you are a fantastic grandma and a fantastic mother, and it's been really great for me, and I know that it's been great for your daughters-in-law to watch you interact and to see how you handle certain situations. And we love you, and I love you, and I'm grateful to have you in my life. And I hope that you have an amazing birthday, and I hope that it's a good one. Love you.
I've learned a lot of really wonderful things from my mom. I think the most valuable thing that I've learned from my mom is to love everyone, to be sweet to everyone, even if you don't want to. Because she would always say to me, forgive and forget. I know now how important that phrase really is, and how important it is to actually forgive people and forget and just to love them, because she just loves everyone. Everyone loves her, and she loves everyone. And no matter what they've done, who they are, where they come from, she will give them whatever they need. And she just has such a sweet and loving heart. And so when she sees people on the streets, or when she, knows of someone in a bad situation, she will just feel so much for them, and she'll give everything she can to help them. And that's something that I've learned from my mama. And I just want to tell you, Mom, that I wouldn't be on a mission if it weren't for you and for your example to me. And I know that it may not have seemed like we were the best of friends, or that it seemed like I maybe didn't like you that much, but I promise that I love you so much, and that your testimony has helped mine to blossom, and the love that you have for Jesus Christ has helped me to have that same love for him and to serve him, to have that desire to serve him and to do his work. And I love you so much, and I'm so grateful to be your daughter, and I'm excited to go get our nails done together and to go to Payway and to watch chick flicks. But just know that we love you so much, and I'm really excited to see you in July, and I hope that everything is good for everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm a freaking mess. And you just are my favorite, and I miss you so much, and I'm just excited just to hold your hand and just to look at you like this and just to sit there all day with you and just to feel your warm hand in the middle of my cold hands and just to soak up every minute of being with you and just to look at you and just to I love you. I'm so excited. Have a good day. Happy birthday. Tell everyone I say hello.
One of my favorite memories about Mom is probably when we were in Rome and we were visiting the Vatican, and we had just finished our tour, and we were just sitting outside waiting to make plans for the rest of the day. And I was sitting next to her, or I think I was sitting on her lap, and she just started tickling me or something, and she was just making me laugh so much. It made me realize how lucky I am to have a mom that is always so playful and fun with me, because that just brightens my day every time she makes me laugh or says something funny. And I'm so lucky that she was like that all through growing up. I know I'm only 14, but she's been like that my whole life, so I'm so thankful for that. One thing that I am not good about letting Mom know is how grateful I am for everything that she does for us, from making my lunches and breakfasts and taking me to volleyball every day. It's a 30-minute drive, and she's always just so willing because she loves us so much. She loves me so much that she'll sacrifice her time and money to help me do what I love, and I'm so thankful for that, and I don't think I tell her that enough. So I just want her to know that that is such a big part of my life, and without her, I wouldn't be able to do anything I love. I wouldn't have any support, and I'm so thankful for a mom who supports me as much as she does, and is fun and loving, and just makes my day so much better when she talks to me. Mom, I am so thankful for everything that you do. I'm so thankful that you're my mom, and I don't know like what I would do if you weren't my mom. I hope you have the best birthday ever, because you deserve it. I love you so much, Mom.
I love the memory of Grandma reading me one of my favorite books.
Perfect. What about you, Jett?
I love Grandma when she gives me a little piece of gum.
Now, what do you guys want to say to Grandma? It's going to be her birthday soon. What do you want to say to her? You can sing happy birthday, yeah. Want to sing happy birthday?
Yeah.
Okay, ready, go.
Happy birthday to you, cha cha cha. Happy birthday to you, cha cha cha. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you, cha cha cha.
What do you love about Grandma?
I love about her singing. I love about she gave us soda. I love about I love about we could sing about we could sing just
What did you love about Grandma Mason?
I love about Grandma that she is really playful.
That's perfect. Can you guys blow her kisses?
I go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear
Happy
Grandma.
birthday,
Dear Grandma.
Happy birthday to you.
There we go. Hey, Jayden, do you love Grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you love Grandma? Do you play with Grandma?
Yeah.
What do you do with Grandma? How do you play with Grandma? Did Grandma take you to the park? What'd you do with Grandma at the park?
I was trading. They were giving me but they were grabbing my other mother dog and they were slide on the other one and the other one. So they can come and try my other mother dog on the other big slide and on the other big slide.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that is so fun. And then did you give Grandma a big hug?
Yeah, but I'm not.
But you're not. Okay. Can you say, hey, can you tell Grandma you love her? Say, I love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then from this little guy.
Say hi. Say hi. Can you do more smiles?
Happy birthday, Grandma.
Mia, I want you to know how much I love you. Hi, and good afternoon, and good evening. I hope you're having a great day, a happy birthday. And I'm assuming that you'll watch this maybe the evening of your birthday. We hope you know how much we love you, how much I love you, and appreciate all that you do and are for our family. And I appreciate you kids for participating in this. And I also am assuming that I get the last word here, which is appropriate and the way it should be. So anyway, let me tell you a few things about your mom that you may or may not know. Some nuggets of knowledge about her. You may know or may not know that your mom is a fantastic athlete. She was a college level softball player in high school. Decided not to play after high school, but could have played anywhere she wanted to, softball. I remember a story about when we were living in Glendale, and she was probably expecting Ryan, must have been Ryan, because Kyle wasn't born till dental school, but she went out and played softball with the Ward women's softball team. She was probably 6 or 7 months along, which means she was definitely showing. The baby was probably already just a tiny little 8 or 9 or 10 pounds at that point. But the stories came back from the women in the ward about how unbelievably good she was out there in her maternity softball uniform and just tearing it up on the field. She also has run 2 marathons, which you may or may not know. She ran one in San Diego and one in San Francisco. I think it was San Francisco. Beta Breakers, maybe. Anyway, she was one of, so for me, one of the most tender moments of our married life. I could explain why, was being at the finish line when she finished that first one, which is the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon, and just seeing her finish that was amazing. She's a great athlete, and look no further than her when you ever wonder where you got your athleticism from, all of you kids, because most of it's probably from her. Also, your mom, if I had to describe a characteristic of hers, one of her best qualities, it would be her persistence and her desire to achieve and to finish what she says she's going to do. Let me explain. So when we were first married, when we met in the fall of '86, I graduated that fall. We were married in '87. We had Matthew in '88. But I was finished with my schooling and came back to Arizona, and she still had some hours. She still had to finish her schooling, and so she came back to Arizona and started at ASU. Here she is, a mom with 2 little infants, or 2 little boys, I guess I should say. And there was more than one occasion where she had to go to class with a 2-year-old by her side, or an infant by her side, running around to finish her degree. There she was, taking 400 level statistics and acing the class so she could finish her bachelor's degree. Well, even early in our marriage, when we first got married, she told me that her goal in life was to teach psychology at the junior college, like part-time. Well, that was 31 years ago, and so a few years after we got out of dental school and we're back in Arizona, she decided she's going to go get her master's degree, so she did, and she finished her master's in psychology. And then that was probably 10 years ago, and then 8 years ago, she decided it was time to go teach junior college and to teach psychology. So she went into the department. By the way, it's not easy to get a job as a part-time teacher at these junior colleges. There's a lot of people that want to do it, but they're not always successful at it. As she goes in there, met the department chair, and she said, "I'd like to teach psychology here." And they said, "Well, you know what? We think we could use you." So they did. They hired her. She starts teaching. She talked to one of the professors about possibly teaching psychology and culture, which is one of this professor was going to retire, and it was her forte. And she says, and she says, you ought to try that. So she tried teaching psychology and culture. And at that time, there wasn't a very good textbook about psychology and culture, so the teacher said, "Well, why don't you just put together something of your own?" That was many years ago. And then along that path, she decided she would try teaching death and dying, a psychology class, so she did. And she decided she would try teaching developmental psychology, and she did. And then decided that she didn't like the books enough. She would write her own textbook, and you guys already know this, that she wrote her own textbook for psychology. She did exactly what she said she was going to do. She definitely is amazing that way. One of the most amazing things about your mom is how much she likes to help others. And I love how much joy she finds in helping young adults at the college that she teaches. She doesn't teach for the money. She teaches because she can help others and she finds satisfaction in it. And I know that those youth are blessed by her presence and her caring and her skills and her ability to teach psychology in a way that blesses their lives. Mia, you have a very unique quality, and I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that people trust you to share with you their lives and their feelings and maybe their problems, and they just feel comfortable in telling, and you know this, I don't have to tell you, but telling you, asking your help and your opinion on how to deal with life, and I'm sure that your story is not over in terms of how much of a blessing you're going to be in people's lives. You've got a lot left in that department. So I want to talk for just a second to you kids, maybe, and to make a point. I know this video and this gift is not about me, but I will tell you that you know how much I love you, and you know how I would do anything for you. I love you more than anything in the whole world. I would give my life in a minute for any one of you. And I love you more than anything. But I guess to make my point, you probably know this, but if you don't, know that your mother, take that amount of love that I have for you and double it for how much your mom loves you. That doesn't diminish how I feel about you, but it should just magnify how much you understand about how much she loves you. She'd do anything for you. You should know that most of what she makes, most of the money she earns teaching and for her book, it goes towards our family vacations. It went towards our Europe trip and pays your tuitions. That's just the way she is. I'll forever be grateful for your unbelievable support when it was my turn to get my education, when we were in San Francisco and you had to work at an apartment management job and was so busy taking care of little ones and a lot of people who needed your attention in those apartment buildings. Mia, I want you to know how much I love you. I want you to know that if I could go back in time to 1986, August of 86, I think it's August 4th, even knowing what I know now, I would run out to the quad to play catch with Mark, and I would look for you. And I would do nothing different. I would go as fast as I could to that picnic in the canyon that we had where we really pretty much met and taught for the first time. And I would not change anything. I'd do it over 100 times. And I'm grateful for our friendship, for your support, and I know that you know that I'm not a man of a whole lot of words. I'm trying to become a man of more words. but hopefully my actions tell you how much I love you, and my words too often enough. Happy birthday, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, I love you.